guys, it's Jennifer from Craft Forest. So I recently inherited all of our family photo albums. There are tons and tons of them. And I started going through them and found some gems, like this one. That's my mom with the afro. And it looks so sad. And I was trying to think of ideas of what to do with all of them. I found my aunts and uncles, high school pictures, so many great things. Pictures of my grandpa at my aunt's wedding. Really, really great photos that it's kind of sad to have them kind of stacked away in a book that you only look at, you know, every once in a while. So I was trying to think of a way to see them, to use them in my everyday life and maybe share them with my family. So I was at the craft store and saw these woodcuts. And I've seen a lot of things online, I've seen a lot of things on Pinterest where people are using woodcuts in really interesting ways. And I thought it'd be kind of cool to actually turn it into a family tree. Get it? Woodcut tree. But I thought it would be a really cool way to showcase. So I actually did them in two ways. We did them as an actual kind of hanging tree, and then some smaller ones I actually did in magnets so that you could have them on the fridge. They're kind of cool, you can move them around. The kids have had a great time like moving these around on the fridge and rearranging people, which has been kind of fun. They're very, very easy to make, and I don't know, I think they're kind of cool, so I thought you guys might really like them. So let me show you how to make them. All right, so here's what you're going to need to make these guys. The woodcuts, you can either cut your own from something that you can find around the house, or you can actually get these now at craft stores. They're everywhere. These small little ones were from the really big national craft store. And then these, I love these. They're kind of a longer woodcut, and they already had a hole drilled through that I used for the tree. I found these at a little home boutique. They were, it was a huge bag of them. They sold them kind of like how they sell pine cones. There were about 40 of these for about $5. And then the small circular ones, there were about 6 or 7 of these, I think for $3 or $4. So still really inexpensive. I love the circle ones for magnets, and these larger cuts I think are really fun just to have hanging. These would be fantastic Christmas ornaments, a really great way to surprise your family. And it would be kind of cool too to do these with like school pictures. You could do each year has a new ornament. That would be kind of cool. So you can see sort of almost like a growth chart with these two. So lots of uses for them. So you'll need the woodcuts. You'll need some adhesive. I'm just going to use some school glue. This one I'm going to use to actually put a photograph actually right on the woodcut. So I took real photos and just photocopied them. My mom was so distraught when I showed them to her, thinking that I'd cut up our family photos, but I didn't. So just make a copy of them, and you can reduce the size. And you might think about grayscaling these or doing them in black and white, because I love just the consistency of having kind of that black and white look. I think just makes them look really classic and really clean and brings it all together. So you'll need these guys, some regular school glue, and then we used recently this Mod Podge Dimensional Magic. I am in love with this stuff. It's so cool. It's different than regular Mod Podge because it's not that kind of cloudy kind of white consistency. It actually dries completely clear and gives really like a glass-like finish to where my mom thought these were actual gloss photos that I had cut up and put on there. So you'll need these guys, you'll need some scissors just to cut your image, and then I'm going to grab a piece of paper just to put on the cutting table just so that I don't make a mess. It's really not that messy, but just in case. So I'm going to grab this one and the photo of my grandmother. So the way that you do these is just take the school glue and put it on either the back of the photo or the back of the wood. Okay, and then just adhere your photo wherever you want it. And make sure that you do have kind of a little bit of an edge here so you can actually have the Mod Podge go around and it's not dripping down the side. I'm going to put a little bit of glue just around the image, just to make sure it's really nicely adhered to the wood, okay? And you're not going to be able to see that, so even if you get a little glue on the picture, it doesn't matter. So to use the Mod Podge, it's really simple. I like to almost trace with it. You can use this almost like a marker or crayon. When you get started, start on your paper and just get it going, because sometimes you can get a little bit of a bubble there, and you want to make sure that you get a really nice clean line. So what I'm going to do is actually trace around the image. I'm going to make almost like a frame. So I'm going to go all the way around, just a really thin line, okay? And I want to catch a little bit of the image and a little bit of the wood, so make sure that they really stick together nicely. because if you don't get it all the way together, it will start to bubble and the image will start to move a little bit. And if you can see on this one here, there was a little edge that I didn't quite catch, and it started to lift away from the wood. So you just want to make sure that you get it down all the way. So then I'm going to take the Dimensional Magic, and I'm almost just going to color in. I'm going to start at the border that I made and make small little circles. And I'm just going to make sure that I have every spot covered, and kind of just small little circles, dragging it around and filling the entire image. Okay, and if you get a little bubble in here, which it does happen, grab a needle, or you can use kind of just a really fine point pen and either pop it or move it to the side. Okay, so I'm going to keep just tracing, kind of filling this in, and then go back and just make sure that you haven't missed any spots. Go. Almost done. Okay, so then you can go back through and just make sure you haven't missed anything. You've got all the edges, all the spots are covered, and that's it. You probably want to let these dry. It says on the bottle about 4 to 5 hours. I let them dry overnight, and you want to try to make sure that you don't actually move them when you're drying them. So try to put them in a flat spot as they're drying, because it will crack. So that's it. That's the entire process. You let that dry, and then it turns into this really nice finish. And then you can add a string or ribbon, a piece of twine, whatever you want to do to hang it, and that's it. I think these would be so cool if you had a large stick over the fireplace and hung them down. It would be a really, really cool mantelpiece. Again, great for Christmas ornaments, so easy. And then the smaller ones, these guys, so you could cut another picture and put that there. And then I found these little kind of adhesive magnets at the craft store. You could use that or just a regular magnet and stick it on the back here. So you can just attach that, and we would do exactly the same process. With this one, because it does come all the way to the edge, the image, like on these guys over here, try adding just a little bit of painter's tape around just to make sure that it doesn't dry over the edge, but I didn't really have a problem with it. But if you're worried that the Dimensional Magic will leak over to the side, you could just put kind of a little tape ring here. So I hope you guys will go make your own family trees. These are so much fun. They come together really quickly, and the results are great. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial from Craft Florist. Thanks.